Hello, all. My name's Andrew, the founder of whooska.com.au. Uh, so I'll just go through quickly a bit about me, so you know who I am and not some random off the streets. So so basically, I've been punting on horses since 2005-ish. VRC member. Owned about 7 or 8 horses over that time, so really love everything horse racing. Um, from a betting point of view, I'm probably like most people if you're viewing this, where you would just be looking up expert tips and looking at their best bets and putting multis together. And if you're like me, you're fairly disappointed. You weren't very successful, and you're just not getting the right information and being a successful punter. So, and I was like that. And a few years ago, I was following a professional punter, and we're losing money. So, my mate said to me, "Why don't you just do your own tips? You're always been pretty good at them and pretty successful." And then from that moment, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy a professional punting pack. So I started spending a few $100s a month to get all the right data, because horse racing is very, very difficult. There's no one out there that can predict a horse winning unless it's Winx or Via or Black Caviar. Even those horses, there's still a level of risk. But yeah, there's so many factors that you need to consider when looking at horse form. So was it a fast tempo, slow tempo last start? Uh, the map of the horse, the horse pattern, uh, the weights, the track conditions, uh, the jockeys, sectional speeds. Was it sit and sprint, or was it a fast paced on pace race the previous start? Will the horse get trapped in from the barrier and all of that? So over time, I've always found that staking with unit betting has always been good. And by getting this professional package, it's really elevated my tipping to the next level. So just based on my results, so since 2023, that's when I started buying the professional pack. Uh, I started with $250 in my Bet365 account, and then by November that year, I had $10,000 in my account. All my tips have been posted on Twitter and the Discord group since September 2023. So I'm not including any tips here. I haven't um, socialized. To be fair, so 2023, I was plus 79 units, which is pretty awesome in a short period of time. I did get a bit too confident the last months of that year and lost a little bit of units, but come back to 2024 and up 110 units, and 2025, when this was put on the website, was around mid-February, so we were up 21 units there. Uh, and since the website went live, I've really been tracking the results by the package. And so every Saturday since March 1st, with all packages, which I go through quickly in more detail. We are up around 20 units, and that's just on Saturdays. So we did have a good week during the midweeks as well. So we're up 5 or 6 units there. So we're looking good for the Golden Slipper. So just with the strike rates, so out of 2,400 odd tips, 593 were successful. That's a 24% strike rate. 1,200 odd of those tips finished first, second, and third. and 350 of those tips finished second. And when going through the results, so many lost by point 0.1 of length, point 0.5 of length. So if half of them actually turned into wins, it would have been very good. And also 1,400 tips finished between the first to fourth place. So that's a 58% strike rate. So pretty good. So depending how you want to use my tips, whether it's exotics, first fours, trifectas, quinellas, single bets, multi bets, caters for all. We also provide the quaddies as well as part of the packages. If you're not a member, you can still come here, see my free free tips. Uh, so just in this example, putting up two tips here, just illustrating the staking. So hopefully one of these two get up. Um, yeah, generally every Saturday I'll post some free tips. During the week, I may post a free tip or two as well. Uh, just with the packages, as quickly, Melbourne and Sydney tips, $22.50 per month. It's the cost of a coffee per week, and you get a lot of value. So uh, even I would always recommend the ultimate package. It's $50 a month, but you get all the tips from Sydney, Melbourne, the Quaddies. You also get your Sunday to Friday tips. So if I find anything I like, you also get those tips as well through the Discord. Um, so yeah, for me, $50 is not a lot to spend if you're serious about getting the right information to make informed decisions. So the reason I got into this was because you see all the best bets, other people's tips. None of them actually go into a lot of detail at all of why they're tipping it. So for myself, uh, I've always wanted to ensure that uh, there's enough detail there for anyone to make an informed decision of whether they're backing, and also if you're backing a horse, you want to know why you're backing him, and that knowledge helps you understand more, and eventually you'll be able to just start doing your own tips, and maybe you go down the same path as me, and start taking it on more seriously. Uh, so just moving on to the results. So I don't have the slide for March 1st, but for March 8th, you can see all the wins on the right-hand side, the key Whooshkas. Uh, yeah, so 9 winning tips out of 20 races. So that's both Melbourne and Sydney. I did post one tip in the Discord. Unfortunately didn't win. But overall, we're still 5.95 units up, which if you're betting 100 units, $100 per unit, it's $595, which is pretty good. So at this stage, we were 14, nearly 1,500 up based on a 100 unit bet. Uh, just moving, just moving on to the last week, very similar. Uh, Also included the Melbourne and Sydney quads. So we had a 50% Melbourne quad that put us up 2.5 units, which is great. Overall, yeah, 5.74 units up since March 1st, 20 units up. On the right hand side, you can see all the winning tips. Now, what's when I went on to Twitter on Sunday, a lot of people were saying they had a bad day, and I had a good day. So, um, yeah, if you want to have good days, then it's probably a good thing to sign up.